Well, Mdzananda meets a very necessary need in the very poor people of Khayelitsha. There was no previous animal care for them, and these are people who, most of them really love their pets, but just do not have the finances to go to a private vet or even to pay some of the other welfare costs. Fortunately, through our funding, we are actually able to treat animals at virtually no cost to the owner. It's actually quite interesting how it started. There's an elderly man who still lives in the neighborhood by the name of Joe, and 20 years ago he realized that a lot of the dogs in Khayelitsha were getting sick from tick-borne diseases, ubilary and ehrlichia, and of his own accord he started going around on a Saturday morning with a shopping trolley with a bucket of dip in it and dipping dogs, and eventually this became a Saturday morning dipping clinic, and it grew from there. We treat between 1,000 and 1,500 a month. I think I'm not sure of the census, but I think there's sort of 150,000 domestic animals in Khayelitsha. And as I say, we treat between 1,000 and 1,500 a month. A lot of them obviously just vaccinations. Many of them would be straightforward sterilizations, and then as you've seen, a lot of actual patients. Yeah. So, a lot of the dogs are not as healthy as they might be in another community. So, for instance, they might get run over by a car, but it's not a healthy, well-fed dog to start with. So that obviously impacts on how quickly the dog heals and how it responds to treatment. I think the other thing that is quite relevant is, in private practice, to a large extent, decisions about treatment are based on the economics of it. An owner either can or cannot afford treatment. So the vet will present to them, this is the diagnosis, this is what I think it's going to cost to do this procedure or whatever, and the owner will make a decision, I can't afford it or I can. At Mdzananda, we have to make that decision because we know the owners can't afford anything. And I think that adds a new dimension because it falls squarely on our shoulders. Do we treat this animal or do we give up on it? We really try to focus on the staff being a family where we can recognize if someone's battling with the emotional side, because we all have our strong days and our bad sides, and to just recognize that and try and lift one another up, because I think otherwise there is a very real danger of sinking into sort of a morose sort of depression.